Let's get another update for you. Our reporter Nkosikhona Duma joins me now. He's at the Durban Beach Front. You'll see in a moment for yourself the devastation, the debris on the beach there. Nkosikhona, good afternoon to you. What on earth is all of that is behind you from this flooding?
Well, Stephen, it's almost as if the ocean has spit everything that we've put inside it. Stephen, the images that we're seeing here are quite devastating. It is a reality that all humanity should take account and responsibility for. I've stepped out of scene so that my colleague Zuma will show you these images. This is all of the dirt that people have been throwing onto the ocean. And the ocean, and if you look at the extent, the dirt that is on the ocean right now as a result of these particular storms, and that perhaps is a reality, Stephen, that we should perhaps learn about it. When people talk about issues of that have to do with the environment, that has to do with taking care of Mother Earth, and some people, because there's also a conversation now, there's also a sense here in KwaZulu-Natal particularly, that these particular storms may have been linked, of course, to the issues of climate change and issues like the incidents like this that we're seeing here. Total rubbish, debris on the beach that has been thrown out by the ocean, spitting it out so as to say that, look, we don't want this here. It belongs, with you. And that is, I guess, an angle that we haven't explored as much about, particularly this kind of scene. 253 lives have been lost, and it's a reality that many people are now reflecting on, seeing scenes like this as to what have humanity done onto the earth.
Nkosikhona, you've been around that area, you've been looking at the beach, you've also been looking at the human cost of all of this. What stories are people telling you in Durban as they try to come to terms with what's happened?
Stephen, it's all depressing. So we've been hearing stories of the bodies of 10-year-olds being picked up, of entire families dying after walls collapsing on them, of people telling us, Stephen, that they've lost everything and they're now left with only the clothing on their back, of people saying that they don't have anywhere to go, they don't know what to do. We have seen helplessness, we've seen devastation, and we've seen scenes such as this. It's almost as if we are confronted with this reality of just devastation, particularly here in KwaZulu-Natal. These particular storms have affected all of us, because even if people had not suffered, the loss of personal property, they've been affected by, roads that have cracked open, of sinkholes. There have been delays on the streets. There have been network issues. Almost everyone has been affected by water and power cuts. Even the mayor of Ethekwini, one of the things that he said yesterday was that even him at his home, he has been struggling with the issue of water and power cuts. Infrastructure damage, Stephen, has been unimaginable, and it's now estimated to run into the billions. Of course, those costs are being tallied, and even that figure of 253 fatalities, we are being told that it is still being collated, and indications are that we could still see more fatalities being recorded, such as we could also see more extreme weather as we go into the weekend. So, Stephen, for now, unfortunately, the story isn't as hopeful, but hopefully we will survive, and KwaZulu-Natal will be able to build itself again, and perhaps, and hopefully also with better lessons of saying that scenes like this, perhaps they shouldn't feature so much as part of our reality. Stephen.
It's incredible, Nkosikhona. I mean, the amount of clean-up work that has to be done there. I can't imagine anyone's had a moment to even start looking at that beach.
You're absolutely correct, Stephen. And standing here, the smell is just terrible. It is actually nauseating. And it's just this reality that we've all been confronted with. I think when people reflect on their actions, when people reflect on what they've been doing, I think this picture painted clearly. The dirt here, I think humanity has to reflect on it, and also taking care of basic infrastructure. Everyone and everyone in their responsibility towards maintaining all our resources. Because Stephen, speaking just on that note, part of the criticism that has been leveled against government and the states in KwaZulu-Natal is that there's simply been neglect of stormwater drains, of the drainage systems, of taking care of basic infrastructure that allows the flow of water in the event of disasters like this one. Because it's not the first time that KwaZulu-Natal has found itself in this kind of situation, Stephen. It's not the first time that the government of KwaZulu-Natal has called for a state of disaster. It's not the first time that eThekwini municipal officials have said that they simply do not have the funds to attend to all of the needs. In fact, as I speak to you, Stephen, there are people who are still residing in community halls and makeshift shelters, and those people were victims of storms and torrential rains that took place in 2019. And when you look at the entire reality, it does call on for a radical change of some sort, a radical change even of thinking about how you build a city. Because if these things have been happening time and time again in KwaZulu-Natal, then surely how the city's plan, particularly eThekwini, which has always been the center, the epicenter of such a disaster, the thinking around building the city, the thinking around the infrastructure around here, surely there has to be some kind of thinking, because we cannot be recording now more fatalities in 2022 than in 2019. Surely there should be a wake-up call. Just like, Stephen, I want to also just show on these scenes here, just like what we are seeing here on the beachfront, should be a reality, should be a picture that we are all reflecting on to say, is this worth it? Is this what we've come to be? Can anyone say they are truly proud of this when the ocean, when nature is speaking to us and actually spitting all of the dirt that we've been doing? Because clearly nature will outlive all of us, and it's clear again that we'll never be able to destroy us. No matter our best intentions, no matter how our best efforts, we will be the biggest losers in the end.
Nkosikhona Duma, thank you very much indeed. Just the most startling images that we're seeing on that beach there. The other startling images we've seen through the day, of course, of the devastation, the human tragedy that we've seen as a result of these most incredible floods in KwaZulu-Natal.